Welcome to the KK Pension TV.
Make sure you guys subscribe to our channel.
We do doll videos, Roblox, baking, and vlogs.
We also do short films such as The Story of Crazy Face, and we also do Talking Hot Show.
A special thank you to Blue Blood Sports TV. Thank you so much for your support. We will continue to work hard and bring you more content. Bye!
Show support. Subscribe to KK Pension TV. If you got children, if you got nieces, if you got nephews, if you got little cousins, if you have friends that have kids, make sure they subscribe to KK Pension TV. Please do that. Show love and show support.
Hi, my name is Heather Vahid Hardy, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
This is Amanda, the real deal Serrano, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Hi, I'm Courtney.
And I'm Janita.
And you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, Gervonta Tank Davis, undefeated, 2-division world champion, currently the WBA lightweight regular world champion, took to social media to display his sparring session with 147-pound welterweight contender Ivan REDKACH, in which Gervonta Tank Davis put on a dazzling display. Now, Ivan REDKACH took to social media and stated that he wished he had the entire clip, but he followed the rules of Tank Davis's manager and didn't record. But he said that kudos to Tank Davis. We supposed to go 6 rounds. You owe me 2 rounds. We only went 4 rounds. With that said, Gervonta Tank Davis seems to be very, very focused, locked in, and rejuvenated to be great, right? Not that he wasn't, willing to be great and looking to be great. But we know in between fights, he had gained a lot of weight, had to go in training camps with weight loss camps. Now, after seeing his rival, undefeated WBC lightweight world champion superstar boxer Devin the Dream Haney training with Gervonta Tank Davis's promoter, undefeated legendary iconic boxer, former 5-division world champion, former pound-for-pound king Floyd Money Mayweather, Gervonta Tank Davis seems to found a newfound focus and motivation. And this dazzling display he put on against a welterweight, a full-fledged welterweight, Ivan REDKACH, who just recently fought 2-division world champion, former unified junior welterweight world champion, former WBC welterweight world champion, Danny Swift Garcia, who has 2 losses on his resume coming at the hands of 2-time welterweight world champion Showtime Sean Porter and former unified welterweight world champion Keith one-time Thurman. But Danny Garcia has some serious knockout power, especially in that left hook. Knocked out Amir Khan, got a lot of highlights with that left hook. A lot of power. I was personally at the fight with Danny Garcia and Ivan REDKACH, and Danny Garcia was hitting Ivan REDKACH with some big punches. But he couldn't get rid of Ivan REDKACH, right? And then you have, one could argue, a junior lightweight, 130-pounder, super featherweight, Gervonta Tank Davis, because he only campaigned at 135 one time in his last fight against Yuriorkis Gamboa. Other than that, his career's been at 130 and lower. So you're talking about a guy who's very small, 5'5" at best, 5'6", right? And 130-pounder. Competing with Ivan REDKACH. With big, probably about 14-ounce gloves on, headgear on, right? And he showed so much ferociousness, so much power, so much athletic ability. He looked absolutely dazzling, to say the least. He hurt Ivan REDKACH. Looked like if there was more time in the round, he might have stopped Ivan REDKACH. He might have dropped him. You can hear people in the corner screaming out, "That's enough, that's enough." And Ivan REDKACH is a tough guy. He's a tough out. Like I said, Danny Garcia went 12 rounds with Ivan REDKACH. Now he got a unanimous decision victory, but they went 12 rounds. In this sparring session, if they had on 8-ounce gloves, no headgear, Ivan REDKACH would have been out cold, for sure. And so with that said, we know Gervonta Tank Davis is scheduled to face 4-division former world champion, Mexican superstar boxer, Leo Santa Cruz in his next fight. And I believe if this version of Gervonta Tank Davis shows up against Leo Santa Cruz, he is absolutely going to dominate Leo Santa Cruz. This is no disrespect to Leo Santa Cruz because he's definitely a great boxer. 4-division world champion. Definitely a great boxer, right? The problem is he's just too small. Leo Santa Cruz, 37-1 with 1 draw, 19 by way of knockout. He's tall, 5'7.5", more, 5'8", right? He's currently the WBA Super World Featherweight Champion, right? And he wants to fight at 130. The one loss on the one blemish and loss on his resume came at the hands of British superstar boxer, former world champion Carl Frampton. He avenged that loss though, immediately, and beat Carl Frampton, right? So Leo Santa Cruz is nothing to sneeze at. You understand? The problem is, and that draw on his resume came early in his career, second fight against Rodrigo Hernandez. That was the second fight of his career. So Leo Santa Cruz is a 4-division world champion. He only has 1 blemish on his resume. Problem is, he lets his hand go far too much when you're dealing with a guy with this much athletic ability, this much explosion, this much power, and this much ferociousness. And he's a southpaw. Your punches have to be calculated. Your distance have to be calculated, right? Your distance has to be accurate. Your punches have to be accurate, right? You have to be on your P's and Q's. And I just think that Leo Santa Cruz's style of letting his hands go and being very, very active is going to work against him. Now, we saw in the last fight against Yuriorkis Gamboa for Gervonta Tank Davis, Yuriorkis Gamboa is not known to have the best chin in the world, but he went 12 rounds with Gervonta Tank Davis after tearing his Achilles in, I believe, was the second or third round, and he was still able to last to the 12th round. Gervonta Tank Davis missed weight for that fight, but I think it's a case of him just not being focused. A focused Gervonta Tank Davis, like we saw in this sparring session, is a very, very dangerous man. And I believe he's going to show up in this manner against Leo Santa Cruz, and he's going to get rid of Leo Santa Cruz. He's going to knock Leo Santa Cruz out by the 5th round. By the 5th round. I believe the referee is going to stop the fight. I think he's going to drop Leo Santa Cruz multiple times. This en route to fighting another Mexican superstar boxer who's a contender, never been a world champion, never fought for a world title, but seems to be on the verge of fighting for for the mandatory spot, the WBC, against Luke Campbell. That's a big fight for Ryan Garcia, undefeated, right? Ryan Garcia is young. He's 21 years old. This is a big fight for Ryan Garcia against Luke Campbell. Very big fight. And Gervonta Tank Davis stated that they were already scheduled to fight in December. But obviously with the pandemic and the corona and all of these things, the fight was pushed off. Ryan Garcia is 20-0, 17 by way of knockout. Very tall, 5'10" for the division. Very, very fast hands. The problem is he has very, very slow feet. And Gervonta Tank Davis is very, very explosive with very, very fast hands and a lot of power and a lot of ferociousness. So I believe that Gervonta Tank Davis is going to blow through Leo Santa Cruz. Then he's going to go in this fight with Ryan Garcia. And if he is focused, like we see in these sparring sessions, if he is focused and absolutely locked in, Ryan Garcia doesn't stand a chance. He just doesn't stand a chance. He won't have enough experience to deal with Gervonta Tank Davis. He just won't. The Luke Campbell fight is going to be a great step up and a great experience, but it's not enough for him to prepare for what he's going to see in Gervonta Tank Davis. And I think that Gervonta Tank Davis is going to stop Ryan Garcia as well in about the 7th, 8th round of their fight. This will catapult Gervonta Tank Davis into that mega pay-per-view star that everybody talks about him being. So I believe that Ryan Garcia and Leo Santa Cruz are in serious trouble as long as Gervonta Tank Davis is this focused and this hungry. They don't stand a chance. I think the only guy that stands a chance to beat him would be Devin Haney because of his versatility, his footwork, his ability to box. He has power, but he has speed. He has a high ring generalship. He has great defense. Those things are what you need to offset that of what Tank Davis does and does great. And I don't see 31-year-old Leo Santa Cruz having that defense, and Ryan Garcia doesn't have the experience. So I believe that Devin Haney is the only guy outside of, I believe, Shakur Stevenson, when he makes his way up, could definitely compete with Gervonta Tank Davis and be the one to offset him. But as of right now in the division, Devin Haney is in the same division as Gervonta Tank Davis. I believe that he's the only one that could derail Gervonta Tank Davis's undefeated tear through the sport of boxing. I believe he would dominate Vasyl Lomachenko, would not be able to deal with his power. Lomachenko won't be able to. It will be a great fight between Gervonta Tank Davis and Teofimo Lopez. But I just think that's a great fight because they both have power. I just think that Tank Davis does everything slightly better than Teofimo Lopez. They're very, very similar. But the southpaw stance, the speed, and the ferociousness of Gervonta Tank Davis, I think, offsets Teofimo Lopez as well. But that would be a great, great fight. That would be a great, great action-packed fight. But I think that Teofimo Lopez is going to knock out Vasyl Lomachenko. I truly believe that. But I can't wait. I'm excited for what the sport of boxing is going to provide, and especially in the lightweight division. But that's all I got for y'all. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Raw. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Hey, this is Jasmine. Thank you for watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Hola, soy Jasmine. Gracias por ver Sangre Azul Deportes TV. Gracias.